Okay, so good evening, all of you. So, uh, so today we'll start a new chapter. Okay, we'll start a new chapter today, namely a solid state. Okay, so and as far as the boards level are concerned, okay, it has a weightage of around 4 marks, and in the NEET, you can expect at least a question from here, a question I ask, right? So it's quite an easy topic. So there are some things which you need to understand, which you need to visualize. Okay, so overall it's a out of 4 marks you should be able to attempt all the 4 marks, right? It's that easy. Okay, so talking about the solid state, we know, okay, so basically speaking, from a very junior classes, we have been taught that there are three states of matter, right? Solid, एक है तुम्हारा, एक है liquid, एक है तुम्हारा gaseous state. Now at the molecular level, okay, what is the basic difference between these three states of matter at the molecular level? Well, how will you characterize a solid state? Yes, we all know in terms of atoms and molecules, what is the main difference between the solid, liquid, and gaseous state? Tell me. So all of you, yes, all of us have the same answer. So what is the answer? In the solid state, the particles, the atoms or molecules, they are closely packed. Eh? They are closely packed. Okay, they are closely packed. Eh? Okay, so since they are closely packed, okay, so the atoms or molecules, they cannot move from one place to another. So can the atoms move from one place to another? No. That is why solids, they are rigid. Eh? They have a definite shape because the atoms cannot move here and there. But yes, the atoms can vibrate about the mean position. The atoms can vibrate about the mean position. Okay. So at this level, yes, I'm not going to the properties of a solid state. I'm not going to the properties of solid state out there. Okay. So solids, basically speaking, okay, solids can be broadly divided into solid का वही criteria क्या है इसमें? It has a fixed volume, it has a rigid shape, it is hard, it has high melting point, etc., etc. Okay, so these are the characteristics of solid state which we have been studying since our junior classes, right? Okay, so today I'll straight away go through the classification of solids. I'll straight away go through the classification of solids. Okay. So solids are basically classified into two categories. Eh? They are basically classified into two categories. So there is a third category which is not there in your syllabus. So let us leave that. Okay. वो entrance में मैं discuss करूँगा. So basically speaking, solid state are broadly divided into two categories. So what are the two categories of the solid state? So
Yes, sir.
so they are here. Number one, crystalline solids. Eh? They are here. Crystalline solids. Okay, and the other category of solids, they are known as here amorphous solid. Eh? Amorphous solid. Okay, one is a crystalline solid and the other one is an amorphous solid. Now say solid बोलने से क्या होगा? The atoms and molecules are closely packed. Okay, so what is the main difference between the crystalline and amorphous solid? So in crystalline solids, okay, in crystalline solids, there is a regular arrangement. There is a regular arrangement of constituent. There is a regular arrangement of constituent particles. Here I have written this term constituent particles. So constituent particles can be atoms also. It can be a molecule or else it can be an ion. So they are generally known as a constituent particles. So in crystalline solids, there is a regular arrangement of constituent particles throughout the entire crystal. Throughout the entire crystal. Okay, now this has been differentiated on the basis of arrangement of particles. So crystalline solids में क्या होगा? There is a regular arrangement of particles. Suppose the crystalline solids are made up of two particles, one which is denoted by this black, one denoted by black, and the other denoted by this red. So these are the constituent particles. Okay, so these are the particles. So I'm just going to draw out here. Okay, I'm just going to draw out. It is made up of this two types of particles, and here we see that there is a regular arrangement. We see there is a regular arrangement. Yes. Is there a regular arrangement? Is there some regularity? Is there some pattern? Yes. There is a regular arrangement of particles like this. Okay, so if you don't understand, please let me know. So there's every chance that you might not understand because it's an entirely different topic for all of us. So don't hesitate, huh? So crystalline solids. Suppose the crystal is made up of two particles like this. So one denoted by the red, the other denoted by blue. So in crystalline solids, throughout the entire crystal, there is a regular arrangement of particles, and we say it is of long range order. The range of regular arrangement is long. It is extended throughout the entire crystal. So we say it is a long range order. Okay, that is long range order. Okay, now amorphous solid में क्या होगा? देखो amorphous solid में there is an irregular arrangement of particles. There is no definite pattern of arrangement of constituent particles, or we can say there is an irregular arrangement of constituent particles. So we can say there is an irregular, there is an irregular arrangement of constituent particles. So there is an irregular of constituent particles. Or amorphous solid में क्या होगा? Up to a certain distance, there might be a regular arrangement. There might be a regular arrangement up to a certain distance. Okay, there might be a regular pattern up to a certain distance like this. So यहाँ पर we are seeing some regularity out here. We are seeing some pattern out here. ना कुछ pattern दिखाई दे रहा है यहाँ तक. But after a while, यहाँ पर जैसे crystalline में ये regular arrangement is repeated throughout the entire crystal. Amorphous में there might be some regular arrangement, but after a certain distance, this becomes irregular like this. It becomes irregular, right? It becomes irregular like this. So the regular arrangement is repeated only up to a certain distance, right? So after that it becomes irregular. Okay, after that it becomes so देखो कुछ pattern ही नहीं यहाँ पर irregular है, यहाँ पर कुछ pattern ही नहीं irregular है. Okay, there's an irregular arrangement of particles like this. So we can say there is a short range order, right? We can say there is a short range order. There is a short range order, right? Okay, so amorphous solid में क्या होगा? The particles, the arrangement of particles is, it may be regular up to a certain distance, but after a certain distance, what happens? The arrangement becomes irregular, right? It becomes irregular. Okay. Okay, so what are the examples of crystalline solids? Yes, any one of you? Can you say what are the examples of crystalline solids? Yes, any examples of crystalline solids, guys?
Sodium.
NaCl, all the salts. Example, NaCl, diamond, copper sulfate. Okay, all these are examples of your crystalline solids. Amorphous solid में क्या होगा? तुम्हारा glass, rubber, silica, they are examples of amorphous solid. वो बाद में okay, I'm going to explain it once more. Okay, so you have written this difference.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
this is the first point. Now second point, and I'll repeat.
Yes, sir.
So crystalline solids, we say that crystalline solids are anisotropic. Eh? Crystalline solids are anisotropic. So you have done this in your school now. I know most of the schools have started off with this chapter. Eh? So
Sir.
I know many of you have
Yes,
done.
sir.
So crystalline solids are anisotropic. Anisotropic. Why are you leaving? Many of you are leaving. Eh? So crystalline solids are anisotropic. Anisotropic means, okay, when some physical properties such as your refractive index, electrical conductance or thermal conductance, etc., are measured along different axes, it gives us different values. Right? And this property is known as anisotropy. So crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature, meaning to say, okay, so the physical properties, some of the physical properties, not all, the physical properties or some physical properties such as your refractive index, your thermal conductance, etc. Okay, it gives us different values. It gives us different values when measured along different axes or directions. So this property is known as anisotropy. Okay, so what is anisotropy again? Yes, tell me.
So what is that? RJ.
Ri, refractive index. Ri means refractive
Yes,
index.
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So instead of the, you can write down some physical properties. Right? Instead of the, you can write some physical properties such as a refractive index or thermal conductance, etc. gives us different values when measured along different directions. इसको बोलते हैं हम लोग anisotropy. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Just definition लिख लो, then I am explaining. Isotropic means it gives the same values of physical properties when measured along different directions. So it gives us the same values of physical properties when measured along different directions. चलो पहले लिख लो, then I'm explaining. So amorphous solids are isotropic, whereas the crystalline solids are anisotropic. Okay, so this is a very famous question in a board level. Explain what do you mean by anisotropy? Explain what do you mean by isotropy? So anisotropy means some physical properties gives us different values when measured along different directions. Isotropy means it gives us the same values when measured along different directions. Okay. So if you are done copying, just let me know. Now let us see why this difference in property. Have we copied it? Let us see why this difference in property. Try to understand.
Yes.
Okay. Now suppose we are measuring, say, a physical property along this axis, say, along this direction. Do we come across a definite regular arrangement? Do we come across a definite regular arrangement? Yes, or no?
Sir.
Yes, we come across a definite regular arrangement of particles. But if I measure the physical property along this direction, then will I come across a definite regular arrangement?
Yes,
Will I
sir.
come? Yes, I'm coming across a definite regular arrangement. But this regular arrangement is different from this regular arrangement. Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
getting a regular arrangement, but this regular arrangement, they differ. Right? So here we see a different pattern. Here we see a different pattern. Yes. Again, if I try to measure along, say, this direction, if I try to measure along this direction, will I come across a different regular arrangement? Will I come across a regular arrangement of particles? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes, I come across black particle. Here I'm come across red particle. Here I'm coming across red black particle. So since crystalline solids have a regular arrangement, when measured along different directions, we come across a different regular arrangement of particles. We come across a different but regular arrangement of particles. That is why these physical properties gives us different values when measured along different directions. Is it understood now?
Yes.
So you take any regular, you take any direction, what will you come across? You'll come across a definite regular arrangement. Right? Okay, and this regular arrangement is different from other regular arrangement. That is why it gives us different values when measured along different directions. Now you yourself explain why amorphous solids are isotropic. Then you yourself explain. Chalo, explain kar. Why these are isotropic? Tell me. So if I measure along this direction, 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 will I be coming across a regular arrangement of particles, or in all the cases, I'll be coming across irregular arrangement of particles? कोई भी देखो यहाँ पर कुछ रेगुलरिटी है, कुछ भी नहीं है.
No, sir.
यहाँ पर कुछ रेगुलरिटी है, कुछ भी नहीं है. मतलब है लेकिन मतलब एक्चुअली ये से भी नहीं होगा. तो तुम लोग बोलोगे सर यहाँ तो रेगुलर, चलो इसको मैं ऐसे बना लेता. तो यहाँ पर भी कोई रेगुलर अरेंजमेंट नहीं दिख रहा है, यहाँ पर भी नहीं दिख रहा है. So no matter in which direction we measure, no matter in which direction we measure, we will be coming across the same irregular arrangement. Right? No matter in which direction we measure, we will be coming across the same irregular arrangement. So it does not make any difference. कोई भी direction से measure करो, irregular arrangement ही मिल रहा है. That is why we get the same values of physical properties. Okay, now is it understood? Yes. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so anisotropy and so why are crystalline solids anisotropic? So due to regular arrangement, when measured along different directions, we come across a different regular arrangement. Right? When measured along different directions, we come across a different regular arrangement of atoms. Okay, so that is why it gives different values. Amorphous may, no matter which direction we measure, we come across the same irregular arrangement. So it is the same values of physical properties. Every direction में वही irregular arrangement ही आ रहा है. That is why they are said to be isotropic in nature. Now, can I move to the next point? So, first point was on the basis of arrangement of particles, and on the basis of arrangement of particles. So these two differences quite important. Okay, so do you need to ask anything out here?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So these are the two very important points of differences. So there are many points of differences. Okay, we shall see one by one. Now, the third point of difference we can cite out here is that your crystalline solids, they have a sharp and definite melting point. They have a sharp and a definite melting point. Means the crystalline solids, they melt at a particular temperature. The crystalline solids, they melt at a particular temperature. For example, say copper sulfate crystals. So these say they melt at say 80 degrees. Suppose, I'm not sure about the melting point. I'm just giving an example. Say copper sulfate will melt at a definite temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. They have a sharp melting point. They melt at a particular temperature. Whereas amorphous solids, they melt over a wide range of temperature. They melt over a wide range of temperature. So for example, wax, amorphous solid wax. What is the melting point of wax, if I ask you? Is there a definite melting point? No. They can melt over a large range of temperature. Say wax, suppose for example, so for wax, they melt from at a temperature from say 80 degree to say 150 degree. So they can melt in between they can melt at a temperature in between these two ranges. कोई एक definite melting point होता नहीं उसका. Whereas crystalline solids, they have a definite melting point. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm rubbing this. I'm rubbing this. Next, they have again crystalline solids. They have a definite. Okay, latent heat of fusion. So this is represented by delta H fusion. They have a definite latent heat of fusion. What does this mean, a latent heat of fusion? And entire chapter was there in a class 11.
It's the latent heat of fusion.
Changing the state.
So latent heat of fusion means the amount of heat required to melt 1 mole of solid. Okay, in order to convert this into 1 mole of liquid, and it occurs at what temperature? It occurs at its melting point. So the amount of heat required for the conversion of 1 mole of a substance from the solid state to the liquid state at its melting point, okay, is known as a latent heat of fusion. Okay, क्या है heat of fusion? क्या है? Heat of fusion is the amount of heat required to melt 1 mole of a substance from the solid state to the liquid state at its melting point. So crystalline solids, to melt 1 mole of a crystalline solid to the liquid state, a definite amount of heat is required. So it has a definite and characteristic heat of fusion. Okay, ठीक है, understood? Latent heat of fusion क्या है? On the other hand, ये amorphous solids, they do not have okay a characteristic. They do not have a characteristic or definite heat of fusion. ठीक है? So any problem till here? Anything which you have not understood? It's okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so these are the 4th point of difference. Now 5th point of difference, that solids are considered to be true solids. They are considered to be true solids. Okay, so they are considered to be true solids. Crystalline solids, they are considered to be true solids. Okay, whereas here amorphous solid, they are considered to be pseudo solids. They are pseudo solids. Pseudo to pata hai, what do you mean by pseudo? They are pseudo solids, or we can say they are super cooled liquids. Pseudo liquids. Examples. What is a super cooled liquid? Yes, example. So glass is an amorphous solid. Super liquid. So एक famous example question क्या है हम लोग का NCERT में? NCERT में question क्या है? The windows panes of old buildings are thick at bottom and they are thin at the top. Explain. Windows of old buildings, they are thin at the top, at the bottom. Explain. Chalo, explain karo. How are you going to explain? So glass is a super cool liquid. So over a long period of time, glass will slowly flow down. Glass will slowly flow down. Thereby, thereby they become thick at the bottom and thin at the top. Why? Because glass is a super cooled liquid. They tend to flow very slowly. So over a long period of time, as they flow down, they become thick at the bottom and they become thin at the top. Okay, that is why the glasses of old windows, they are not even in thickness. Right? They are thin at the top and thick at the bottom. Okay,
Yes,
so can you write down this answer on your own?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Okay,
So-
now number 6.
So what
Number
if
6.
do not have a characteristic called
Definite heat of fusion.
heat?
मतलब क्या है? To melt 1 mole of a solid to a liquid, sometimes more heat is required, sometimes less heat is required.
Yes,
मतलब
sir.
एक definite heat of fusion नहीं है इसका. Okay, जैसे to melt 1 mole of solid to 1 mole of liquid, say 10 kilojoule of heat is required. एक definite heat है ना, 10 kilojoule is required. यहाँ पर कभी 10 भी लग सकता है, कभी 15 भी लग सकता है, कभी 11 भी लग सकता है, कभी कम भी लग सकता है. कोई definite heat of fusion ही नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So यहाँ पर when cut with a sharp knife, very, very, very sharp knife, they give regular pieces with sharp edges. So you imagine you are cutting a crystalline solid with a very, very, very sharp knife. So it breaks up into 2 pieces and each piece have a very regular surface and very, very, very sharp edge. Okay. So what can you write about your amorphous solid then? 6 point of difference. What can you write? So they gave irregular pieces with rough
Yes.
edges. They give irregular pieces with rough edges. Okay. So they give irregular pieces with rough edges. Okay. So is this difference okay? Is this difference understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So copy किया ना सब कोई?
Yes, sir.
Sir, so what is that? They give regular
Pieces with sharp edges.
and that
Each of the pieces are sharp. They have sharp edges.
is
And irregular pieces with rough edges.
considered to be what solids
True solids, true solids, true solids.
inside.
So if you are done, please let me know.
So done.
Okay, just give me a
Done,
moment.
sir.
I'll just show you some slides. Okay.
Done.
Okay. So these are the crystalline solid. So this is a diagram of crystalline solid. ये diagram पहली बात तो बताओ. It's a two-dimensional or three-dimensional diagram.
So 3D.
3D because we have three axes. 1, 2, 3 axes. So देखो, is there a regular arrangement of particles?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this regular arrangement of particles is extended throughout the entire crystal. No, same we are getting the same regular arrangement of particles, right? Is it so?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are getting the same regular arrangement of particles, and this regular arrangement of particles is extended throughout the entire crystal system, right? Okay, so just listen.
and solid. अब इसमें ये होता है कि सारे एटम्स एक पर्टिकुलर अरेंजमेंट में होते हैं. तो हमारे सॉलिड्स में जितने भी एटम्स हैं वो एक पर्टिकुलर अरेंजमेंट में है, एंड दैट अरेंजमेंट विल कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग ऑन एंड ऑन. वो अरेंजमेंट बार बार रिपीट होता है. ये है मेरा एक बेसिक सा ज्योमेट्रिकल पैटर्न. अब हर एक कॉर्नर पे एक एक एटम्स लगे, तो इस तरीके से हमारे एटम्स अरेंज्ड है, एंड दिस इज अ फिक्स्ड पैटर्न. अब यही पैटर्न बार बार रिपीट होते हैं.
So what do you say? We saw a pattern. This is the smallest pattern. Okay, and this pattern is repeated. ये pattern बार बार क्या हो रहा है? Repeat हो रहा है. It's getting repeated over and over again. Okay.
Yes.
तो क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड्स में एक फिक्स्ड स्ट्रक्चर होता है, बट अमॉर्फस
देखो, amorphous देखो.
So our next is amorphous solid. Amorphous solid.
So do you see any regular arrangement out here?
No, sir.
Irregular.
Irregular मतलब इसका तो कोई मतलब माई बाप नहीं है, right? जहाँ तहाँ मतलब atoms are located wherever they are. Okay.
Atoms एक रेगुलर पैटर्न में अरेंज्ड नहीं होते हैं. They are arranged randomly. पर ऐसा नहीं है कि amorphous solid में कोई पैटर्न नहीं होगा.
I mean to say that. Hey. So यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Who can explain me? Yes, who can explain me by looking at this slide? Who can explain me?
Sir, a
So-
part of the
Yes, exactly. Very good.
yes.
A
Sir,
part
third
of the
regularity
amorphous.
and then it's irregular.
Yes. मतलब थोड़ा डिस्टेंस तक रेगुलर अरेंजमेंट हो रहा था. आफ्टर दैट द
Yes.
रेगुलरिटी ब्रेक्स अप. आफ्टर दैट इट इज गेटिंग इरेगुलर. आफ्टर दैट इट इज गेटिंग इरेगुलर है. उसके बाद तुम्हारा इरेगुलर हो रहा है. मतलब ये जो ऑर्डर है, लॉन्ग रेंज ऑर्डर है ना शॉर्ट रेंज ऑर्डर है? It's a short range order. The irregularity is repeated only up to a certain distance. After that, it becomes irregular. So we say it is a short range order. It's a short range order. Okay.
Amorphous solid में भी पैटर्न्स होते हैं, but that pattern will break after a short range.
Short range
थोड़े से
order.
ही टाइम के बाद वो पैटर्न ब्रेक हो जाएगा. तो क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड होता है हमारा बिल्कुल फिक्स पैटर्न में, और amorphous सॉलिड होता है रैंडम.
Hey, just wait.
Want to find out what is the ultimate safety test?
Just wait.
अब क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड और amorphous सॉलिड में एक और डिफरेंस होता है.
Melting
That is
point.
melting point.
Same thing
So
is
let's say
repeated.
कि मेरे पास एक क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड है, उसे मैं मेल्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. तो मेल्ट करना क्या होता है? मेल्ट होता है सॉलिड को लिक्विड फॉर्म में चेंज करना. सो हम सॉलिड को हीट अप करते हैं और उसके कारण से वो लिक्विड फॉर्म में चेंज होता है. सो मेरा जो क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड है, जब मैं उसे मेल्ट करूंगा तो उसका एक सर्टेन मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होगा. इट विल चेंज एट अ पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर. लेट्स से हमारे पास एक क्रिस्टल सॉलिड है और वो 300 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे मेल्ट होता है, तो वह उसी पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर पे मेल्ट होता है. बट amorphous solids are different. They melt over a wide range of temperature. So ये मेरा कोई amorphous solid और ये 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस से 300 डिग्री सेल्सियस के
It
बीच
melts
में.
over range of temperature, right?
So its melting point is not a sharp melting point. तो ये है amorphous solid. अब next है polymorphs.
Acha, we'll leave this, huh? We'll leave this, okay? So this is not in our. Chalo. Fine. So now we know in details the basic difference between the solid state and crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Okay. So I don't think so. You have any issues still here?
No, sir.
no, sir.
Okay. Good. Don't worry, I'll send you the link as well. Huh? कौन सा YouTube channel है? I'll send you the link as well.
Yes,
I'll send
sir.
you the short videos. No need to send the link. I'll send you the videos as well. Okay, now ये जो solids है ना, again it can be classified into various categories. Right? So आज हम लोग classification नहीं पढ़ेंगे. It can be classified into various categories. Okay. So यहाँ पर types of solids में number 1 I have your molecular solids. Right? I have your molecular solids. Okay, molecular solids. Right? So it is evident from the name itself. Right? It's evident from the name itself. Molecular solid means what are the constituent particles made up of? Molecular solid means the constituent particles are made up of what? Yes?
Molecules.
Molecules.
Yes. The constituent particles.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, यो चाहिँ अब हामीले के पढेको यो टाइप्स हो.
Yes. Again, we are types of solids. Right? What are the types of solids? Okay. So we are classifying the solids. Now types of solids. So yes, you can write down the topic. Okay, fine. Chalo, write down the topic. Types of solids लिख लो. एक है तुम्हारा molecular solid. And molecular solid, as is evident from the name, the constituent particles are made up of molecules. The particles are made up of molecules. Okay. The molecular solids are of two types. The molecular solids are of two types. Number A is your polar
Polar molecules.
molecular
Solids.
solids. Polar molecular solids. Okay. So yes, so Samriddhi. So you have joined today, na? So yes, Samriddhi, any idea what do you mean by a polar molecule? What do you mean by a polar molecule? What do you mean by polar molecule? What does the term polar mean?
So like the substances which are formed by polar bonds, like polar covalent bonds.
Polar covalent bonds. Okay, when are the covalent bonds considered to be polar? Okay, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. मतलब polar covalent मतलब bond कब polar होगा? बताओ तो मुझे.
So when the charges.
Good. When charges are separated, very good. Absolutely correct. Yes. Any one of you tell me when are the charges separated now? When are the charges separated? दो atom के बीच में कब charge separate होगा?
Positive and
Tell me.
negative.
हाँ, negative और positive charge कब
Electrovalency.
separate? Yes. Samriddhi, yes. Whenever there is a difference in electronegativity. Whenever there is a difference in electronegativity. So you need to understand this. Right? हालांकि ये class level में था कि हम लोग ने किया भी था. So if there is a difference in electronegativity between two atoms, say H and X, so we have a pure covalent bond. Electrons are equally shared. What do you mean by electronegativity? The tendency to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Matlab, if X is more electronegative, then these electrons will move towards X. It will not acquire the entire electron, but the electrons will be slightly displaced towards X. The electrons will be slightly displaced towards X. As a result, X will acquire a partial negative charge, H will acquire a partial positive charge. And whenever charges difference hota hai, whenever there is a difference in charges between the atoms, these are known as your polar molecules. Say, what are these known as? These are known as your polar molecules. Okay, these are known as a polar molecules. Say, got it? So can you just give me some examples of polar molecules then? So examples of polar molecules is HCl.
H2O.
HCl, it's a polar molecule. Yes. H2O. It's a polar molecular solid. Then yes, apart from this, guys, tell me.
SO2.
SO2, very good, SO2. So I'm just drawing the structure. I'm drawing the structure. Okay. Now
Okay.
HCl, which one is more electronegative? Chlorine.
Fluorine,
You have hydrogen out here,
oxygen.
positive, positive. Nah? Okay, fine. So did you understand what is the polar molecular solid? What are the particles made of? The particles are molecules. But what type of molecules? Polar molecules. Now, what is the type of force which exists between two polar molecules? What is the type of force which exists between two polar molecules? Yes,
Dipole force.
exactly. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, between two polar molecules, so remember the two polar molecules, they are held by dipole forces, and these forces are, we can say, they are quite strong, not strong also, not weak also, intermediate. They are quite strong, okay, they are quite strong, okay. So the polar molecule, they are held by dipole interactions, okay. So they are soft,
So,
okay. And in the solid state, kya hoga? We are talking about solids, we imagine HCl is in the solid state, so in the solid state there will be no movement of ions, so they are insulators.
yes,
They are
sir.
insulators, okay, and they have quite low melting point. They have quite low melting point. They have quite low melting point. Why quite low melting point? Because of quite weak forces of attraction. So these are examples of polar molecular solids. They are insulators. They do not conduct electricity. Yes. I didn't get you. Your voice is cracking, dear. Your voice is cracking a lot. Tell me. Okay, now one
Sir,
thing I want to make.
he is asking why
Huh?
is there H2O solid?
H2O solid नहीं होता है, ice.
ठीक है.
Water, मतलब मैं जो भी example दे रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, you imagine they can be solidified ना. मैं
Yes,
जो
sir.
भी example दूंगा, we should imagine they are here in the solid state. Now, yes, one thing. What is the type of interaction between water molecules? Yes, Rahul, tell me, dear. What is the type of forces which exist among water molecules?
सर
Yes,
डाइपोल.
Rahul. डाइपोल, लेकिन ये एक स्पेशल डाइपोल है, ये एक स्पेशल डाइपोल है.
सर हाइड्रोजन.
डाइपोल,
Hydrogen
यस, हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डेड. ये हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग इज अ स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ डाइपोल इंटरेक्शन है. So we can say water is an example of hydrogen bonded molecular solid. Water is an example of hydrogen bonded molecular solid. चलो.
So, so your polar molecules, they have a very like strong force of attraction.
Now, मतलब देखो, force of attraction we have studied in the solution as well. London forces are the weakest forces. Hydrogen bonding is the strongest force. And in between this comes your dipole, but we can consider them to be weak forces. Right? We can consider this dipole to be weak forces, not that strong as hydrogen bonding. That is why they have low melting point. Right?
So they were in soft.
Yeah, they are soft. They are soft. They are soft. They are soft comparatively. Soft, मतलब don't think they are soft like a sponge. Right? Comparatively, not hard as a diamond. They are quite soft. Okay, don't imagine it to be a. So obviously, what is the second type of molecular solid? Molecular solid पे अभी जा रहे हैं हम लोग. The second type is obviously
Non-polar.
molecular solids. Non-polar molecular solids. Yes. So non-polar molecular solids. Yes. Non-polar means, is there any difference in charges between the atoms now? Is there any difference in charges between the atoms? No, obviously no. The answer will be no. So examples of non-polar molecular solids are, say, we can write down an example of iodine. There are two iodine atoms having the same electronegativity. many organic molecules such as a
Maybe.
carbon tetrachloride. Okay, so they are examples of non-polar molecular solids. CO2. Okay, अच्छा CO2 आ रहा है ना?
Yes.
Hydrogen.
Nitrogen.
CO2. Yes, who said CO2?
Me, sir.
Ah, okay. CO2 ना? SO2 क्या था? Polar.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now CO2 का CO2 भी तो तुम्हारा कार्बन तो इसका इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी काफी कम है, ऑक्सीजन का काफी, ऑक्सीजन इज हाईली इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव. तो यहाँ पर चार्जेस सेपरेटेड है, चार्जेस सेपरेटेड है यहाँ पर, charges are separated. So why it is coming under this category? Who can answer this? Yes. Who can answer this
You,
question?
sir.
Yes, yes, you can answer. You can answer. You can definitely answer because this has been done in a class level.
So electronegativity कम थी भाई.
Now, electronegativity difference is very high. Oxygen is highly electronegative. That is why charge difference are high. But in spite of the difference in charges, it comes under this non-polar. Why? What my point? In spite of the charge differences, we are tagging this under non-polar molecule. Why? Who can answer this?
Covalent bond.
No, covalent bond तो HCl में भी था. HCl में भी covalent bond था.
Because of the London forces. That is.
नहीं, they should have dipole forces. Why London force? तुम London force क्यों बोल रहे हो? They should have a dipole force. But ये क्यों non-polar molecule का category में आ रहा है? Why? Now देखो class 7 में क्या पढ़ा था? Non-polar molecular solids, not non-polar molecules. So now you'll just realize it. Non-polar molecule मतलब क्या था? Yes, so there's still some time left. Who can answer this?
There is no dipole moment.
Excellent, 10 out of 10. Eh? Having zero dipole moment. Excellent, 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 excellent. Very good, very good. Whoever it is, very good. And dipole moment तो vector quantity है. Okay, and dipole moment is represented by an arrow, and the arrow points towards the more electronegative element. पढ़ा था लेवल में. इसका ये bond का dipole towards oxygen, ये bond का dipole towards oxygen. So what is the thing? They have equal magnitude but opposite direction. So they cancel out each other. They have opposite direction. So the net dipole moment is equal to 0. पढ़ा था ना हम लोग ने? We had studied it. Don't say no. Okay, there was an entire topic on this dipole moment. So that is why, in spite of charge differences, it's a non-polar molecule because the net dipole moment is 0. Because the net dipole moment is 0. Okay, so I won't go into details. I won't go into details. Sure. Ab bolo. These non-polar molecular solids, they are held by what type of forces? They are held by what type of forces?
London.
Yes, London. Why London? Why the name London? Weak London forces. Because it was discovered by Hitler London, a name of a person. Okay, not because it was discovered in London. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So obviously weak London forces means they are very, very, very soft. Yes, they are insulator. They are insulators. Okay, they have very low melting point. They have very low melting point. They have very low melting point. Chalo. So basically speaking, there are three types of molecular solids. एक polar, एक non-polar, और एक वही किया था मैंने hydrogen bonded. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll rub it.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
So एउटा polar molecules को एउटा definition भनिदिनु न sir. हल्का idea भयो.
Polar molecules means having a definite dipole moment. Having a dipole moment. Having a dipole moment. They are polar molecular solids which have a dipole moment where charges are separated, and charges separate होने से भी नहीं होगा. Charges separate होने के बाद भी molecule non-polar हो सकता है. So polar molecule के लिए it should have a definite dipole moment. Charges are separate होना ही पड़ेगा, but apart from that it should have a definite dipole moment.
अन्त सर non-polar कोमा चाहिँ हुँदैन है dipole moment.
Non-polar molecule मतलब either charges are not separated, or if the charges are separated, they have a zero dipole moment. Non-polar molecule, either charges are not separated as in iodine, or the charges are separated but the net dipole moment is 0. These are non-polar molecules.
So Ayush is asking what is dipole moment.
Aha. Dipole moment, matlab, it's a parameter used to measure the amount of charge separation. Bas. Dipole moment is the amount of parameter which is used to measure the amount of charge separation in covalent bond. It's a vector quantity. It's represented by an arrow. यहाँ पर dipole moment is due to CO bond. यहाँ पर भी dipole moment is due to CO bond. So both are due to CO bond. So इसका value equal होगा. Magnitude is same. But direction
Yes,
देखो ना, opposite है. So opposite
Yes,
direction, equal magnitude means they will cancel out each other. So net dipole moment is 0. Okay, net dipole moment is 0. So this was there in the class 11. Okay, so class 12 में नहीं, dipole moment is not there. So if you wish to, I can send the YouTube videos of class 11. Okay, so there I have explained dipole moment. So number 2, ionic solids. Yes, Isha, explain me. What are the constituent particles in ionic solids? What are the particles in ionic solids?
Sir, iron.
Ions. Very good. नाम से पता चला है. So the constituent particles are ions. So the constituent particles. So the constituent particles are ions. Ions मतलब which ions? Cation and
and
obviously anions. Obviously anions. Example दे सकते हो?
Sir, Na plus chloride ion.
Na plus, Cl negative, sodium chloride, copper sulfate, all these classes of salt. Okay, which are made up of ions. Which ions here? Cation or anion. Okay, so magnesium oxide, your zinc oxide, all these are your ionic solids. Okay, so I don't need to say much about this. Okay.
yes,
Now, what is the force of attraction between the particles then?
electrostatic
So,
force.
Electrostatic force. So the positive and the negative ions, they are held together by very strong. They are held together by not very strong. Okay, they are held together by strong. Nahi. Strong electrostatic forces of attraction. They are held together by very strong electrostatic force of attraction. Okay. So yes, what can you say about the hardness? Is it hard or is it soft? They are strong. So obviously
It is
they are
hard. It is
they
hard.
are hard.
Hard.
What can you say about the electrical conductivity? Yes.
They are good conductors.
Conductor. Good conductors.
Lock किया जाए पक्का?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they are good conductors.
So liquids wow.
Yes.
Electrolytes.
Solid state में तो they do not conduct
हाँ.
electricity. क्योंकि solid state में तो the ions are held very tightly. They cannot move here and there. So how will they conduct electricity? Movement of ions ही नहीं होगा. But in the molten state or in the aqueous solution, the ions get separated. The ions will get separated in the solution. Now the ions can move from one place to another, and these ions will carry electric current. So what can you say about the thing? They are insulators in the
Solids.
Solid state.
okay. They are insulators in the solid state. Very good. Very good. But they conduct electricity in what which state? In the aqueous
Yeah.
solution or in the molten state. Okay, what can you say about the melting point, guys, out here?
So high.
High
I-
melting point.
High melting point. आप में एक क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे. देखो मॉलिक्यूलर सॉलिड में लो आ रहा था, इसमें हाई आ रहा था. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज दिस मेल्टिंग पॉइंट रिलेटेड विथ?
The ions.
देखो कोई भी सॉलिड स्टेट में the molecules are they are tightly held, and when we melt one liquid state, they must be separated. They must be separated. The liquid state they must be separated. So if the force of attraction is very strong, can they be separated easily?
No, sir.
So they
No,
have
sir.
very high melting point. So if the force of attraction is less weak, they can be easily separated. So what is melting point related to?
Force.
Yes, melting point is directly proportional to the force of intermolecular force. Intermolecular force of attraction. Now, so very important point we have done. They are directly proportional to the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay. Okay, ये हुआ तुम्हारा ionic solids. So number 3, covalent or network solids. Have you heard?
Yes, sir.
Achha, so you have heard. Very good. That's so nice. Tell me, what are the constant particles?
So carbon.
Carbon क्या है? Molecule, atom, ion क्या है?
Carbon atoms.
Atoms.
Yes, the constant particles are atoms.
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 Okay. And why are they known as covalent? Because the atoms are held by covalent bonds. Network क्यों बोल रहे हैं? They form these atoms. Okay, these atoms forms a 3-dimensional network. Okay. Okay. So the atoms. So these atoms forms a 3-dimensional network. Okay, they form a 3-dimensional network. Okay, so examples क्या है guys? Examples, yes. अभी बोला तुम लोग ने क्या बोला?
Diamond.
Carbon,
Carbon.
yeah,
Sorry.
graphite,
Graphite.
carbon, graphite. Okay, carbon and graphite. Okay, so we can say silicon carbide, silica, quartz, SiO2. It's also known as a quartz. Yeah, silicon carbide, yeah, aluminum nitride. Okay, I'm just giving you the specific examples. Say it's not possible to explain all the structures. But silicon and carbon, they are held by covalent bonds. Okay, एक ही group में belong करता है ये दोनों. So they come under covalent. So एक ही example दिया मैंने diamond. Now you tell me about the types of forces. They are held by diamond, carbon, diamond, not carbon, sorry, diamond, not carbon, diamond. Huh? So they are held by very strong
Forces.
covalent bond. They are held by very strong covalent bonds. So the atoms are connected to each other by strong covalent bonds. Like they are connected to each other by strong covalent bonds. It forms a network. Okay. So they are hard or soft?
Hard.
Hard.
They are very hard. They are very hard. In fact, diamond is the hardest substance known. They are held by strong covalent bond. They have high melting point. But यहाँ पर एक चीज याद रखना, graphite ये soft होगा. They have graphite is a soft network solid. Exception एक. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, चलो. And the last but not the least, is what is the fourth classification of solid then? Metallic solids है. So fourth में आता है हम लोग का metallic solids. Okay, who can explain me metallic solids में क्या होगा? So in any textbooks you'll find this line. है कोई भी textbook में ये line मिलेगा. Okay, in metallic solids, the positive ions kernels are embedded in a sea of mobile electrons. यही statement मिलेगा. Okay, so whichever textbook you follow, you'll get the same definition. NCERT में भी शायद same definition है. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? So देखो, let us consider sodium atom. It's a metal. Let us consider sodium atom. It's a metal. No? So metals are very electropositive. So they have a tendency to lose an electron. They are highly electropositive. Now, कौन सा electron lose हो रहा है यहाँ पर? The valence electron is being lost. So the core which is left behind after the valence electrons are lost. The core which is left after the valence electrons are lost, they are known as kernels. Positive ions. Okay, the core which is left after the valence electron is removed, they are known as the kernels. So metallic solids में क्या होगा? There are ions like this. There are ions like this. And these ions are embedded. They are embedded in a sea of mobile electrons like this. They are embedded in a sea of mobile electrons. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? So obviously the bonding between the attraction between the negatively charged electron and the positively charged ions, these are known as a metallic bonding. These are known as a metallic bonding.
So
ये जो attraction है इसको metallic bonding बोलते हैं हम लोग.
so
Yes.
so Na plus one kernel.
Core which is left. Yes, this is the kernel. This is also known as kernel. KERNEL.
So only the positive one, not that negative.
Only
one.
the positive part. Only the positive part. ये पूरा तो atom हो गया. After the valence electron is lost, the remaining positive part is known as a kernel. So every metallic solid has some electrons which are free to move. Which are free to move. That is why metallic solids, they are very, very, very good conductors of electricity. Okay, so due to the presence of mobile electrons, due to the presence of what kind of electrons? Due to the presence of mobile electron. Mobile electron means the electrons which are free to move. Mobile means which are free to move. The metallic solids are very good conductors of what? Electricity. So that is why all the wires are made up of metallic solid. Copper wire, घर में जो use करते हैं, aluminium wire. Why they are good conductors of electricity? Because they have the presence of free electron. These electrons are the carriers of electric current. ठीक है, so all the example क्या कर दोगे इसमें? What are the examples? Say iron, copper, zinc, etc. All the metals. Group 1 का metal, alkali metal. Group 2 का metal, alkaline earth metal. These transition metals. Okay.
Yes,
So they are hard or soft? I don't need to discuss this. Hard or soft?
hard.
Metals, very hard. melting point,
High.
melting
High.
point, high melting point है आ जाए, ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay, now see, if the question comes, how will you differentiate between an ionic solid and a metallic solid? What is going to be your answer? How will you differentiate between? You can add this question. चलो लिख के डालो. And from next day onwards, please keep your NCRT by your side. Hey, whenever I take class, please kindly keep your NCRT along with you. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, diamond is a non-conductor. Hey, diamond non-conductor है, graphite is a
Sir,
conductor.
sir, after hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, after
me?
copper, what you have written?
Zinc, Zn.
Sir, example, iron, copper, zinc.
Zinc, etc. ना etc लिखने में मजा आता है ना? मजा आता है ना?
बहुत
Zinc.
दो दिया etc लिखने
Yes,
से
sir.
मतलब whoever invented this word etc ना, it gives some satisfaction etc बस. Yes. So what is the question I just told you?
end of thinking capacity. That's it.
So how will you differentiate between ionic solid and metallic solid? Right on the question. How will you differentiate between ionic solid and metallic solid? Yes, anyone? Hmm?
Constituent particles of
वो तो पार्टिकल से दिखाई नहीं देगा ना.
um,
मतलब मैंने ये दो दिया और तुम लोग को डिफरेंशिएट करना है कौन सा मेटालिक है कौन सा आयनिक है. और ये देखने से तो इसमें आयन से इसमें मॉलिक्यूल तो नहीं होगा ये, होता है. So how will you differentiate? Tell me. Ionic and what did I say? Ionic and metallic.
metal.
One is the insulator and another one is the conductor.
Excellent. 10 out of 10. Bang on. Ionic solids, in the solid state, ionic solids are non-conductors of electricity. Yes, so if you pass current and if it does not conduct electricity, that is an ionic solid. Whereas metallic solids, they are conductors of electricity. So ionic solids are insulators. Your metallic solids are conductors of electricity.
Yes,
Bas?
sir.
Fine?
Yes, sir.
Good. Very good. Excellent. अरे तुम लोग तो इंटेलिजेंट बच्चे लोग हो ना. Now classify,
Yes, sir.
classify as molecular blah blah blah. ठीक है, तुम लोग classify करो. I'll write down the name. ये फॉर्मूला खुद लिख लो. I'm not going to write down the formula.
Combo sir here.
You can easily write down.
So what did you say to write after that? Classify.
Classify as molecular, ionic, metallic.
Sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so I've given you till J. Done? Finished copying?
Sir.
Sir, no.
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
And hey, Asuna,
Yes.
hey. Whatever may be the problem, don't miss out the next class. Hey. Next class miss kiya to solid state chhod hi sakte ho. You won't understand anything. So what am I again repeating? If you miss out the next class due to some unavoidable reasons, it's better you leave the solid state. मतलब समझ में नहीं आएगा. Okay, so unavoidable circumstances है तो yes, that's a different thing. But don't मतलब avoid missing the next class. We'll be studying something very, very, very important. Okay. Okay. So now, tetra phosphorus means how many
Okay.
phosphorus are there? Tetra means how many are there?
4.
Oxide means
4.
oxygen. Dec means how many?
10.
Deca, 10. बस.
Index.
Ammonium phosphate. Ammonium means NH4. Phosphate means PO4. What is the valency of ammonium? 1. What is the valency of phosphate? 3.
3.
Yes, sir.
बाकी तो ठीक है. चलो. Let us start. So what does this come under? Tetraphosphorus decoxide.
Phosphorus है ना तो
What do you think these are? Atoms, molecules? What do you think these are?
molecules.
Molecule.
So this comes under which solid? The
Molecule.
constituent particles are molecules. So these are
Ionic.
molecular solids, right? Ionic. These are molecular solids. This is the molecule. These are the molecular solid.
Yes, sir.
Any other molecular solid which you can see? Any other molecular solid which you can see?
Number 3.
Which one?
Brass.
Number 3.
Which one? Brass is not a molecular solid. चलो एक एक करके डिस्कस करते हैं. छोड़ दो एक एक करके.
Yes, every-
Ammonium
Graphite.
phosphate.
What do you think graphite?
Sir, covalent.
Graphite, what do you think? ये तो covalent or network?
Covalent.
Covalent or network
Network.
solid. What about this ammonium phosphate?
Ionic.
Ionic.
Ionic, we have ammonium ion and phosphate ion. Good. It's an ionic solid. It's an ionic solid, eh? What about this brass? What is brass, eh?
Metallic.
Yes, what is brass?
Metallic.
What is a brass? It's an alloy. It's a mixture of metals. So it comes under here. Metallic solid. ये metallic solid में आता है. Okay, brass is not a metal. It's a mixture of metals. Eh? Okay. चलो silicon carbide हम लोग ने किया था अभी. क्या है ये? किसमें आता है?
Covalent.
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 Rubidium. अच्छा, एक ग्रुप 1 का एलिमेंट्स बोला तो ग्रुप 1 में कौन कौन सा एलिमेंट होगा? लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, rubidium, cesium. It lies under group 1. Eh? And what are group 1 elements known as? These are known as your
Metallic.
alkali metals. These are alkali metals. So rubidium is an example of metallic solid. Iodine,
Molecular.
molecular. It's a non-polar molecular solid, or you can just write molecular. Lithium bromide, so yes, we all know.
Ionic.
Ionic, it's composed of lithium, metal and non-metal ka, they are always ionic. Right? Phosphorus, what is the formula of phosphorus? P4A.
Yes, sir.
So it's an example of molecular solid. What are plastics say?
Molecular solid.
Plastic. So plastic neither comes, it does not come under any it does not come under any category. Eh? So plastic is an amorphous solid. It is an amorphous solid. Plastic is an amorphous solid. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think today's class was quite productive. I think we understood everything we discussed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
So,
this for today. Okay, so